Okay, so overall, Claire, what do you think of this scent, Aventus?
Yeah, it's alright. I just think it's probably more for younger girls, like girls in their 20s, I think would appreciate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
You think they'd really like that?
Yeah, definitely younger girls, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for doing the video.
No,
that's
right.
really good. All right.
Well, enjoy your night watching football. I'm going to head next door to Mandy's for a glass of wine.
No problem. Okay,
right.
have a nice evening.
Yeah.
I'll just be here watching TV.
Okay. Yeah.
No, you know, just a quiet night for me.
See you later.
Bye bye. Okay, viewers, right, so, so scent of the night is going to be Aventus. I'm off to Amadeus, my local nightclub. Let's see how the ladies like this one. Okay, hello everyone. So today we're going to do a video, and the theme of the video is going to be fragrances that don't get much love from this particular house. So I've picked 3 fragrance houses, and I've picked out fragrances that don't seem to be their big hitters that people talk about, but that I really like, and I'm going to spray them. Claire has smelled, it's Claire here. Hi. In the Smurfy Girly channel, by the way, hello. And she's going to give us her opinion. She has smelled most of them before, so it's not a total first impression, so I'm not going to pretend that she doesn't know. I'll tell her what they are, and we'll just talk about them. In each case, I really like them, but I'm not entirely sure what you think.
Okay.
So let's find out. These are my under-the-radar gems from 3 big fragrance houses. So let's start off with one of the biggest of them all. It's Creed. Aventus, Green Eyes Tweed, Millesime Imperial, we've all heard of them, but the one that doesn't seem to get much love is Royal Mayfair from Creed, okay? So, let's find out. I really like it. Notes on this one, let's talk about those in a minute. Let's spray it and just see what you say. You have smelled it before, haven't you? I'll do 2 sprays of each.
Big spray.
Describe.
Okay, so it's really medicinal actually.
Medicinal.
Yes, but I really like this one.
Just good medicine.
Yeah, what I like about this is that it actually steps quite a distance away from the other Creed fragrances.
Yes.
This is bold, this is different, and it's got the lift that sort of eucalyptus gives you.
It has eucalyptus in the notes, yes.
Mentholated kind of fragrance, but lots of woods. It reminds, I always say this, it reminds me of creosote, which is my favourite.
Creosote?
My favourite wood treatment.
You always say that?
From my youth, yeah.
Which is what they used to paint fences.
Yeah, I absolutely love it, and it does remind me of that. But also, a little bit of sauna steam room, because that eucalyptus note as well.
Sauna steam room. Yes. You go in the sauna and they put those oils in it that have that very, that menthol eucalyptus type smell.
But the woods of the actual,
good point. Okay, get what you mean.
The construction of the.
And the wood. Good. The woods of the sauna room.
Yeah, that's
Never thought of that. It's got gin in the notes. I think there's rose in there. I'm not sure. Better check that.
Yeah, I don't
but certainly there's eucalyptus, a little bit, but like a fresh zingy gin maybe.
Yeah.
So this one for me, and you bought this for me, which was very kind of you. I think it was my birthday, wasn't it?
It was your 40th birthday.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. But the good side, every cloud has a So it was great to receive this, and it's a real different fragrance from Creed. It's not really one of their freshies, although there could be a freshness, but it's different to their
freshness comes
their
from
citric
the
fragrances
rather than from a citrus.
It's classy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an old school feel. I think it's a reimagining or a reinvention of one that was out before called Windsor or Royal Windsor that they've sort of re-released under a new name. So
I've heard that, but this is completely different.
Mark out of 10
else. Out
for
of
you.
10, I'm going to give it a 9.
Wow, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not a huge Creed fan girl. So you prefer this to Aventus and stuff?
I think I prefer it to all of them, only because it really steps out of the standard stuff. It's very different. But
Lania Smith really likes this one he mentioned, and he doesn't talk about Creed much. So different from Creed, Royal Mayfair. Don't overlook it. It smelt funny when I first smelt it. Then I came back to it.
It grows on you.
So Royal Mayfair, worth checking out. So that's a sort of under the radar one from Creed, I think. Although it's a recent release, but it never got much love, or not as much as it deserves. Moving on then, here's another one, the House of Givenchy.
Okay.
Now you're talking, you know, Givenchy Play Intense Pie, Gentleman Only Absolute. We quite like Gentleman Only Intense.
Yes, I do, yeah.
This is not any of those. This is Monsieur de Givenchy. Now, this was first released way back in the 50s.
I have to say, I love that you've got the pronunciation finally.
Thank you. Finally,
Monsieur.
people have finally. It used to look like this. There'd been very different variations. This was much better, the bottle and stuff. But we're just going to work on the current version. They're quite similar. There might be a slight difference. It's certainly not a bad reformulation, but it used to look like that. That was probably an 80s bottle, or maybe 90s even. And let's see how the smell is. But the modern one is what we're going on. That doesn't have a barcode, so my old vintage one there's probably 80s. And it has a certain old school charm, often compared to Chanel pour Monsieur. So here's the reissue that you can get. You get it online. You might find it in a shop, but I've never seen it in a shop. Don't think Givenchy really want to push this one. What a great bottle, though.
I do like the bottle, yeah.
Looks like if Givenchy had a private niche line, which they probably do. They do, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like the Dior, you know, it's like a posh one, but it's actually really cheap. So you can get this for great prices. Anyway, let's see what you think of it. Ready? Oh, I love this. I love this fragrance. Monsieur de Givenchy.
It definitely smells very old-fashioned.
Ah.
Not in a bad way.
No.
It does remind me of Chanel pour Monsieur, and I think a couple of your other more citrusy old school fragrances.
Yes, it's an old school 50s style citrus cologne stroke chypre type fragrance.
I smell lemon sherbets and aniseed balls all at the same time.
Lemon sherbets and aniseed balls, right?
Is there aniseed in there?
I'm pretty sure it's not listed, but there are a lot of herbal notes which
Licorice,
could
aniseed.
combine to give you that feel. I know what you mean. There's a certain sort of sweetness, isn't there?
I've never really noticed it before, but I feel like there's 100% some kind of aniseed smell in there.
Right. How much do you like it? Mark out of 10.
7.5.
7.5. For me, as the fan of old school scents, it's more like a good 8.5, verging on a 9. I really like Monsieur de Givenchy, and you can get it for great prices in the Parfums Mythique reissue line for 100ml. So
I think for an old-fashioned fragrance, it's way up there. Like if you was to roll out all your really old-fashioned fragrances, that's gonna, from my point of view, it's gonna be much more pleasing than some of the really old-fashioned stuff.
Right. So worth checking out if you like old school things. If you like Chanel pour Monsieur, check it out. Next up, we have one more coming up, and it is from another niche house, and this is Acqua di Parma. So we often hear about Acqua di Parma. Well, we hear a bit about Acqua di Parma. Max 40 likes Colonia Intensa.
As do you.
I really like that one too. And you hear about Essenza quite a bit. The Blue Mediterranean line actually gets a lot of talk, and also the original Colonia does get some talk. But I think there's only 1 or 2 reviews on this one. I think Mark Robes 8 did it. I'm looking for a piece of paper, and that you've sensed that. Right, so this is Colonia Assoluta. And this is, I think, some famous perfumers were involved. Bertrand Duchefort, I think, was one of them. It was a few years ago that this one was released. It's very, very interesting. So I want to hear your thoughts on this one, Claire. One of my favourites. Bit like Essenza, but different.
I'm a fan of Duchefort. I really do enjoy quite a few of his fragrances.
I hope I've got it right that it was him. I think it was him.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, when you were wearing this when you first arrived,
I was wearing it earlier when I first arrived this evening.
I thought it was is it the Intensa?
You thought it was Essenza, the one that comes in a black bottle.
One
of my probably my favourite.
I thought you were wearing
it's
that one.
It's a close second though, yeah.
Because it's quite similar.
Yeah.
Although this is not so rich and syrupy and smooth.
No, exactly. It's more cologne-like, I think. Whereas that one has more
zesty.
Yes,
more fresh.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm guessing this won't have quite the same strength and longevity. Based
Feels
on
like it might not. It's
now.
not bad. They say that it has the freshness of Italian citrus, revealing the inner elegance of rose, jasmine, ylang ylang, and the warm spiciness of red pepper and cardamom. And in the base you've got noble white woods, white sensual amber, and white musk. So it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I probably couldn't really pick out.
No, nor could I pick
any
those
of that
things out.
apart from the citruses right now,
But,
and something that's warming it up, like
okay.
maybe the red pepper.
Mark out of 10?
Say it. Let's go 8.5.
8.5,
yeah.
so that's pretty good.
I really like it, I do, yeah.
So, not one that you hear a lot about in our fragrance community, and as Acqua di Parma's go, that I think that's one, you know, it's not one of the top ones people talk about on YouTube, so I wanted to give it some airtime. Last but not least, bonus feature is going to be a vintage one.
Okay.
And it's Givenchy, it's another Givenchy one, in Insense, which means foolish in French, doesn't mean incense, okay?
Yes, because I used to think
yeah.
that this fragrance was an incense fragrance.
An understandable mistake, which I also made. And this one was brought out way back in 1993. I only have the aftershave, sadly, but the notes should be the same, the longevity and concentration a bit weaker, but just spray more, hey? So I think it still stands up. So let's have it. I think I put it in an atomizer because that's a splash. Let's spray some. It's not coming out much, but it's enough.
There's some coming out.
There's quite a lot of liquid on there. Oh, different. Insense. Thoughts? What do you think about that one, Claire?
It's it's green.
Right.
In some ways it's green, but it's also smooth. I'm not always a fan of green fragrances, but this is green with some kind of real smoothness going on. Balmy.
Balmy, okay. B-A-L-M-Y.
Yes.
Yeah. In a good way.
This reminds me of.
You don't have to say good things.
Imagine you're on a hot tropical island.
I'll splash a bit on my hand, yeah.
And there's trees, it's evening time, and there's trees just gently swaying in the breeze.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me of. Like, I can't explain it.
Okay.
It's a very calming fragrance.
Got a bit on the skin there.
Yeah, that's more, on the opening, it's very green.
Okay.
But
1993 release. It is hard to get now. That's why I've only got the aftershave, because the eau de toilette tends to be rather expensive. How much do you like it? Mark out of 10?
Let's go 8.5 again.
Okay. Few ones to check out, most of which don't get much talk on YouTube. Just thought we'd try something different. The cat seems to approve, I think.
Let's see what she says.
No, what does she say? Any comment?
No.
Nah. On that note, we'll end it. Let us know what you thought. If you've tried any of these choices, please comment below, or any other obscure ones you'd like us to talk about on the show. Thanks a lot for joining us, and remember, whatever we're doing in life, let's project. Bye-bye.
Smelly.